Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast, and most importantly, happy freaking New Year. It is December 31st if you're listening to this on Tuesday, the day this podcast comes out, and that means it is New Year's Eve. So, first and foremost, don't be a stupid idiot tonight. Be safe. The world is better with you in it, so don't do anything dumb. Hope you guys enjoy New Year's Eve. Hope you enjoyed the holidays. I know Hanukkah is still ongoing. I believe it's still ongoing. So happy Hanukkah if you're celebrating. Merry Christmas. All the things. Happy everything. It's the holiday season. And because it is New Year's, I did this for the first time last year. I'm going to do it again this year. I'm going to take the last upload of 2024 to reflect on the previous year. This episode of the show, the podcast, isn't necessarily all about the show, but it is about the podcast. So it's about the content. It's about our community that we've created here. So I think that's important, and I think it's cool to reflect. So thank you guys for everything this year. Thank you for everything in the previous years. Thank you for everything that I know is to come in 2025. I'm looking forward to it quite a bit, actually. I have a hit list here. I just wrote something else down on it because I forgot something. A hit list here of things to talk about in this podcast today. Just because it's good to reflect. It's good to reflect as a human being into our society. And it's good to reflect as someone who puts content on the internet. Just for fun. So we're going to do that today. So without further ado, Let me hit the button I'm supposed to hit. It's this button, it's this button, it's this button. Okay, so this is very meta for everybody. We're looking at my YouTube channel while you're on YouTube. It's very interesting. Quickly before we dive into everything, just a programming note. You'll have a video on Thursday. It's already up there, scheduled and ready. You will see it when it goes live. I know the past 2 weeks of content have been inconsistent, just a little bit, just because of the holidays. I forewarned you of that. But we're back to full gear, full throttle forward on Monday. Another update. This is a very fun one. For those who have asked for it, I am in conversations right now for a little bit of some merchy merch. If you guys watch the content, you know in our pitching videos, we throw a lot of back foot sliders for the boys. And so we're making merch of that. It's actively happening. I don't necessarily have a timeline on it, but you will all be kept apprised. I promise. Alrighty. So it's important to reflect, right? It's important to celebrate your wins, learn from your losses, and set realistic expectations of yourself for the future. So that's what I'm going to try to do. A very top-level look at all of the channel's stuff that happened this year. I don't mind peeling back the curtain on these things, because why would I hide it? There's no reason to. So, in 2024, you all, the wonderful viewers, watched about 50,000 hours of my content. Oh, wow, that's nuts. I am not a big channel. I don't pretend to be. I try not to come across as, I don't know, a highfalutin YouTuber. I'm just a normal fella who enjoys playing MLB The Show. This channel is growing every day, and I appreciate those of you who have helped it grow. But 50,000 hours is to me, in my stupid little brain, that's a butt ton. So thank you for that. This year, there were approximately 2,700 new subscribers. Another holy crap. We more than doubled our subscribers in 2024. Holy goodness. My content was also viewed about 400,000 times. There are plenty of people who get that on one video. There are people who sometimes 2 videos a week and they get 400,000. I'm not a big YouTuber. To me, that number exceeds all expectations. We're shooting for higher numbers in all 3 of those categories in 2025, of course. We got some momentum. We're going to keep it going. But it's just incredible to me. We published 174 videos on the channel this year. And that is with taking like 5 or 6 weeks off end of September through October because I got married and I took a little content hiatus. So you guys basically had a video every other day all year. And that included me taking, let's call it 5 weeks off. I try not to be someone who gloats because I am blown away and appreciative of all the support. But I pride myself on being consistent. Unless there is something happening, if I set a schedule, you're getting the scheduled stuff. So for me, to be able to stick to the schedule for the most part this year, I'm super proud of that. I hope you all appreciate that. As you guys can see here, I mean, you're not all new to the channel. You guys have been here before. There's no personal information on this, right? I'm not... Okay, good. LOL. But, I pride myself on producing the no-frills MLB The Show content. That's nothing against people who produce MLB The Show content with frills, because there's a place for that. But I know that's not my place. My place is the straightforward, often not super heavily edited, just the content I think people want, because it's the content that I wanted when I was first entering the space. There's plenty of room for entertainment content, and I hope you do find my stuff entertaining, of course, but I want to create the content that sets a baseline for people who otherwise don't have one. I like being more on the educational side of things. And no, as I've said, I'm not the best player on earth. I've never claimed to be. But I know what I'm doing. I've played this game long enough. I'm an adult with a college degree. I know what I'm doing. So I hope this stuff is helpful to you. And so that brings me to what my top viewed video of this year was. It's funny, a lot of people who watch this channel are either diehard Diamond Dynasty or well-versed in Diamond Dynasty. Well, you know what my #1 viewed video this year was? Diamond Dynasty 101. Posted it right when the game came out. Let's actually see when I posted it. Oh, I forgot. Let's just play it here. That's fine. I don't want the ad to play. Stop that. I posted it March 17th, 2024, right when the game came out. Oh, sorry. And yeah, it is my most viewed video of the year. It is continually getting views now. And all that was me just walking people through every single mode of Diamond Dynasty. So it's funny the things you learn when you actually dive into all the analytical stuff. Why can I not? There we go. I keep having to go back, but I have it full screen, so makes it harder. So that leads me to this question, because questions are important, when we're reflecting. How much more do you all want content like that? Do you want strict tutorial content? You guys know when I put together my gameplay and pitching videos, I do try to keep them more, not tutorial-based, but step-by-step based. But would you guys prefer actual stuff like this again every year? How to do Showdown, how to do Conquest, or at least how I do them. Content creator is nothing without the people watching, so tell me what you all want, and I'll do it. Well, to some degree, not across the board. Some of you guys are crazy people. You know, we made some content decisions this year, right? We tried playing college football when that came out. I enjoyed the game. You all did enjoy watching it. So we took a swing. We missed. It's fine. We just don't do it no more. It's like it never happened. We also put Whiteboard Wednesday on a little bit of a hiatus. Actually, a pretty significant hiatus. I don't think we've done one of these. Yeah, 7 months it's been since we've done one. I don't know if I've ever necessarily walked everybody through why. So, Whiteboard Wednesday, MLB The Show content series that is more comedic. It actually doesn't involve me sitting here. It doesn't involve my computer. It doesn't involve my PlayStation. It involves me standing over that way, right behind the camera, with a tripod and a whiteboard and dry erase markers. And we have some fun. I encourage you to go check these out if you've never seen them before. The one here at the top, What is Vision? MLB The Show, was one of my favorites because it is, it's one of the ones where we actually took a deep dive into something and hopefully learned something. But there are a lot of funny ones in here. Disproving MLB The Show misconceptions, 99 things to do day one in MLB The Show. We used to do the Golden Ramones, where we'd give out awards for cards and for every season and set. But there's a reason I stopped. I started to get burnt out of Whiteboard Wednesdays. It is hard to come up with, truthfully, just being 100% transparent, it's hard to come up with a new, unique idea every week that I'm jazzed about recording. Because Whiteboard Wednesday's not good if I'm not excited to record it. It's got to be something I'm passionate about or interested in, or like, hey, I had got this funny joke in my head, I want to work it. It just don't work. So Whiteboard Wednesday has been gone, obviously, for most of the MLB The Show 24 life cycle. I'm not calling it dead. Why? Because the whiteboard's still up. I don't think this game has just inspired me to create many of those types of things. There could very well be a world where Whiteboard Wednesday comes back intermittently. I don't think I'll ever commit to doing it weekly again, because I want to make sure the quality is high. As you can see, a lot of these are shorter. 11 minutes, 10 and a half, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 9, or 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 13 is actually on the longer side. 99 Things to Do Day 1 is always going to be longer, those Day 1 videos, because there's a lot to talk about. Sometimes, full transparency, it's even hard to get 9 or 10 good minutes if I'm not excited to do it. So that's where Whiteboard Wednesday's at. It's not dead. It's just, it's sleeping. It's taking a little hibernation. But in its place, kind of, sort of, not 100%, sorry, dog hair in my mouth. Parker's hair is all over the place. We started making new content. And it's not content I created. It's not content I claim to have created. KREW, for those of you who know, a legend in the MLB The Show community, content creator, now employee of SDS, helping create the game. He used to have a series, What Would KREW Do? And it was where he would play full ranked games, unedited, and you would go through all of his decision making. Oh, spoiler alert, this is the video coming on Thursday. Whoopsie! It's all right. We're doing a theme team for the Yankees on Thursday. Oops. Yeah, but I enjoy making this series. Because again, even though I can't always execute on the things I'm telling you to do, I know how to play this game. I saw one comment that I am a KREW wannabe. He's a pretty good person to want to try to be like. And no, I never try to be anybody but 100% myself. So, you're an idiot. And thank you for now being called out on the podcast. If you guys want this series to continue in perpetuities, let me know. It can fully exist next year as well. There's no reason we can't keep it cooking. I want to celebrate a couple things that happened this year. I recorded my 200th podcast episode. Holy cow. Cannot believe I recorded 200 episodes, and I did it with the homies, Scan, Destructive Dude, and Nutsy Poo. Nutsy, of course, longtime friend of the channel. It was really fun. Just in a vacuum, recording that 200th episode. it was cool to just have, we all had honest and raw conversations about MLB The Show 24. Because it was a game that had been struggling at that point, and, we all know it still is. At least in terms of player interest level. But looking back on it now, and even looking back at it right after recording it, it was really cool to be in a Zoom room with people I just met through doing this, and who are super cool, creative, funny, talented people. So I think, one of the big, or two of the big things that started to get my channel noticed a little bit came from MLB The Show 23, when I did podcast interviews with legend Shlomo Lipitz, shout out Shlomo, and of course Bob Kendrick. And those were awesome. The Bob Kendrick one especially, just because of him as a human being. And I'll always cherish those, but looking back, it's I've met a lot of cool people doing this, and it's cool to be able to consider some of them friends. And so I appreciate that. And it doesn't just extend to other creators, or it doesn't just have to do with other creators or people I've interviewed on the podcast. Parker's hair is literally effing everywhere. I have made legitimate friends in this community who started out as viewers. And it's super cool. It's awesome. Another big thing to celebrate. I got my first SDS launch box this year. I don't know if I ever set out necessarily to be like, oh, I'm going to create content and they're going to give me stuff for free. That's not how it works. You do kind of hit a point in your content journey, I think, where you realize, oh, this might be possible. And then, of course, you work for it because it's a goal. Doing this is very much goal-oriented. You have to be a self-motivated person. I don't, yes, I do this for fun. You guys know that. Of course, because I'm a YouTube partner, I do make a little bit of money off this from ad revenue. I appreciate when you guys watch the videos, and especially watch them to the end. But I create this stuff because I enjoy it. But I have to set goals for myself, because otherwise, what really is the point? And we'll talk about 2025 goals at the end of this. But one of my goals did become, let's get a launch box. Let's get a seat at the table. Because a lot of times, I read every comment. I read every single comment on my channel. I know I don't always respond to them. I'm sorry. It's hard sometimes to respond to every single comment. But I read every single one. I have a pulse of what's going on. And it's been cool to be able to share some of those comments, not verbatim, but just the gist of them, or the thought behind them, with people at SDS. We have their ear. And that is awesome. The launch box is cool, but the goal ultimately was to get a seat at the table. To be included in the conversations about a game I care about. So we accomplished that this year, and holy shit, we did it. And I want to thank you guys for that, because it would have been impossible without all of you. The other thing I'm kind of proud of, and I don't necessarily want to pull it up because it'll, I don't know what information's going to pop up or not. We got our Discord really up and running this year. Join the Discord. It's linked in the description. I'm also not as active in there as maybe I'd aspire to be. I'll try to be better in 2025. Call it a resolution. But it's popping off so much that it's hard to keep up with it. I can't leave my phone notifications on because it's popping. Of course, there's a general chat where you could just talk. But we have chats for the 10-minute mailbag. We have chats for the podcast. We have chats for Whiteboard Wednesday. We have chats for college football. We have chats for if you like to dabble in sports gambling. We have dedicated chats for lineup advice. We have it for everything. We have it if you just need some homie support, some mental health support. We're here for each other. Join the Discord. It is a welcoming, awesome place to be. And I'm happy for that because it just further strengthens this community we've built. It extends outside of just YouTube. It extends outside of Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I know I don't stream anymore. Maybe I should talk about that. Probably should talk about that. But the Discord is there for communication and for conversations and for support. So I guess we'll talk about the Twitch thing. When's the last time I streamed? Let's look. Twitch.tv/kdjTV. Wow, the link still works. The last time I streamed was... Oh, what's happening here? No, thanks. Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. The last time I streamed was... That's not right. A long time ago. A long friggin' time ago. If it has not already become abundantly clear, I'm done as a streamer. I've just learned that streaming's not for me. It's not my thing. It's not my forte. I like YouTube more. And these are the learnings you have to take from doing this. I don't know why. I think some people are just made to stream and some people are not. And I don't think I'm made to stream. I don't want to divide my time between live content and recorded content when I, like so many of you, are very busy. This is where I find the most happiness. So this is what I'm doing. And that leads me to the last thing I learned this year. I learned, this is going to sound so sappy, but it's true. I just learned a lot about what gives me joy. And that if it doesn't give me joy, I should kick it to the curb. Or, unless it's a very necessary thing that I have to do in my life, just lessen it, and minimize my exposure to it. That's why I took that hiatus for my wedding and my honeymoon. I didn't want to miss out on that part of my life, that moment in time. It's why I kind of scaled back Whiteboard Wednesday, because I was starting to not enjoy it as much. And so I made the decision to scale back. It's why I have not played as much MLB The Show 24 or MLB The Show this year as I typically do. It's been a lot of burnout. And I think that's irregardless of whether you think the game is great or not great. I have found joy in other games. I played College Football 25. First time I played a football game in 10 years, 12 years. I have found joy in playing RPGs. I replayed the whole Kingdom Hearts series because it's one of my favorite series of all time. Baldur's Gate, if you guys have listened to the podcast, you know that from time to time I dabble in it. I freaking love that game. I've done 2 playthroughs. I'm spending my time enjoying gaming again. And while I enjoy making this content specific to MLB The Show, I think me scaling back and me dabbling in other things has actually allowed me to enjoy this more. If that makes sense. So finally, goals. I think the only tangible number... There's 2 number-related goals. Let's do 2 number-related goals. The first one is on Twitter. Go follow me there. X, Elon, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's an utter cesspool. Shooting for 1,000 followers. We got like 7 and change right now. I don't think it's that hard. I like to have fun on there. We tweet about the Yankees a whole bunch. If you're not a Yankee fan, I'm sorry. If you are, follow me. Even if you're not, follow me also. And then on YouTube, because I want to stay consistent, I'm shooting for 7,500 subscribers. Not in just 2025, but like by the end of it, that's the number I want to be at. That's going to require a lot of consistency, a lot of dedication, a lot of your guys' support. But I'm inspired by the fact that I actually think 25 is going to be a good game. Sets and seasons are gone. Will there be Barry Bonds? ? I mean, if you guys saw the podcast episode last week, I don't know. Maybe. I'm excited for it. And I think there's going to be an appetite for content again. I think a lot of MLB The Show exclusive YouTube creators have seen the lack of interest this year, especially the last few months. I think that's going to be less of an issue next year. I hope, anyway. So, I don't really know where to leave this. This was an incredible year. And I thoroughly appreciate all of you. I guess I'll end rather the way I started. Have an incredible New Year's Eve, an incredible New Year's Day. I wish you all the best in 2025. Be safe, please, please, please be safe. Nothing that I've accomplished, even though to many other creators it would be very small in scale. None of these accomplishments are possible without your guys' support. And I know I say that a lot, and I hope it doesn't come across as just lip service, because it is 100% not truly meaningful. This is a cool thing I get to do. And I could do it for no one, but it's a lot cooler to do it with people who share my same interest. So, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. That will do it for this episode of the show, the podcast. The final episode of the show, the podcast. The final content upload for me in 2024. I will see you all in 2025.